morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. Today is a rest day. It's about, what time is it? It's about 7:30 in the morning. Just got up. I've had about 20 ounces of water. I've got coffee here that I'm going to be drinking on my way to the gym and while I'm there. What I want to do today is I want to bring you guys with me for my rest day routine and just kind of show you guys what's going on with that at the moment, and also possibly talk about how I am rehabbing, I want to say that word loosely, rehabbing my knee injury. So my right knee's been bothering me lately, and it's definitely some patellar tendonitis, and I've kind of been incorporating some corrective movements, Spanish squats, leg extension, isometrics, stuff like that, just to kind of speed up that process. And I don't want to, jinx myself or anything, but I've been making pretty good progress on it, to be honest with you. Purely just in terms of how it feels to the touch and feels moving it. This morning it feels the best that it's felt ever since the problem happened. So I'm very happy with that, and just kind of want to continue that process and just kind of keep that rolling here. We'll do a little cardio today, but the cardio is kind of double purpose, if anything. I really like the bike cardio wise, and this is kind of a side tangent, but Carissa and I are in the process of moving into a bigger place right now, and once that happens, I am definitely going to invest in an exercise bike, because I come to the gym most mornings to ride the bike. I ride the bike before every workout. On my rest days, I ride the bike for my cardio. So I just want to get a bike in the house so that I don't have to keep leaving for that. Anyways, but for cardio's dual purpose, I really like doing the bike because of how it gets my knees and quads feeling. I don't pedal super hard and super aggressively, but just continuously going for a while gets a good amount of blood flowing through my knees and quads and everything. So people do not know how to use always stops. Incredible. It just gets my quads and my knees and everything feeling really good. So and then I'll also probably do some sled work today. I go to two gyms. One of the gyms that I go to is it's a corporate gym, you know what I mean? It's very much a corporate gym vibe. But one thing that they got going for them is they have a really long turf and a really nice sled. I am not going to that gym today. I'm going to my other gym, which still has a nice sled, but the turf distance is a lot shorter. But I do have access to multiple sleds, and I do think that the sled is incredible for functional movement, basically, at its core. If you guys don't know, Ben Patrick, Knees Over Toes is his Instagram, or his social media handle. He's Knees Over Toes guy on everything. Highly recommend that you guys look into his work. He's kind of like a mobility / functional movement. I mean, that's probably really watering down what he does. So if there's any chance that he's watching this, he's obviously much more important than just that. But that that's kind of the thing that he specializes in, is functional movement and mobility. And he's a former basketball player who's had a lot of knee injuries and stuff like that. And so just kind of how to make your body bulletproof in a way to where you can prevent those injuries. So he's a huge advocate of the sled. And when I was going to my older gym more consistently, I was sledding very consistently. And then I've just since kind of gotten away from sledding. So it's something that I kind of want to start to get back into now. So today is going to be another step in that process. I woke up this morning at 196. My weight has been jumping very, very aggressively lately. I think it's important to mention, and I may have mentioned already, that I've increased my supplement usage from 150 milligrams to 250 milligrams about 10 to 14 days ago. So that could be contributing to the rapid scale weight gain. It's important to keep that in mind. I'll probably take some progress pictures today while I'm here, since this is my consistent progress picture spot, and that's just kind of how the routine goes. I'll usually take my progress pictures on like rest days in the morning after I finish up with my stretching and cardio and all of that type of stuff. So we will take a look at those pictures. I haven't taken pictures since I was like 191 or 192, but that was only like 10 to 14 days ago. Like I said, my weight has really spiked pretty rapidly here lately. So we'll take a look at what I look like. Maybe I'm going full-blown Chungus like too quickly here. We shall see. This is tough, man. We're behind a school bus. This is tough. God, I'm driving like 5. Wow, that's a school bus and a public transportation bus. I have meal one with me. Usually on rest days, my meal one has been oats, whey, honey, applesauce, and milk. And usually I've just been blending that and drinking it most mornings. And I've got that with me, so as soon as I finish this, finish like my cardio and whatnot, I will get meal one in on the way home, and then I have a fairly busy workday today. Good amount of client check-ins this morning. I have a new client who signed on. Today's Tuesday, if I didn't mention that. I have a new client who signed on at the tail end of last week, who I am going to be finishing up their program and kind of getting them started so that we can hopefully be getting started next week. Again, today's Tuesday, so ideally towards the end of this week would like to get everything to him so that we can get started there. I have a client consultation tomorrow that I have to take notes for. I, of course, don't have my to-do list with me, and I should have taken a picture of it so that I could maybe knock some of those things out while I was riding the bike, but was not thinking about that this morning. Typically on rest days, like, typically on most days I get up and I start working within like 20 minutes of waking up. Like, I wake up and work, man, and I have kind of talked about this in other videos, but obviously with self-employment and everything, you kind of just fucking work all day, every day. So I'm usually working within like 15 to 20 minutes of waking up, but on my rest days, since I go to the gym like right away, I usually will try to knock out some simple things like on my phone. And of course I have all of those like written down, and if I don't take a picture of those things, there's too many of them to remember, so I just, whatever, it always gets lost. Rookie mistake. Recovery work is done. Meal 1 is done. Coffee is eliminated. And I'm kind of feeling like it's time for a second one. And yeah, now it's time to go home and work, do some check-ins. There was one, okay, so first of all, you guys will have to forgive me for the ghetto footage angle. I got to the gym this morning and realized I forgot my tripod at home, so I did the old prop it up on a water bottle trick. So the angles may not be the best, but whatever, who cares? There was one thing that I did not film, and that was some leg extension isometrics with really slow eccentrics. So I started off on the sled, pushing and pulling the sled for a while, probably a good 15 to 20 minutes. With the sled, I was focused on a really slow tempo. In the clip that I filmed, I didn't have any weight on the sled. When I originally started, I had 25 pounds on each one of the posts, so only 50 pounds in total weight I had added to the sled. What do we got, an ambulance going here? So I started off with only 50 pounds of added weight, and I was just kind of moving, not really with purpose, just kind of literally weighted walking. And then as I kind of started to warm up more, I actually decreased the weight and I slowed down the tempo that I was walking with. And I was really feeling and using like the intrinsic muscles of my feet. And I did that for a while just to get nice and warmed up, get my quads going good, and kind of get my tibs and everything warmed up. And then I jumped onto a leg extension, and that's what I didn't film. And I did like 3 long isometrics, probably like 45-second isometrics, just kind of on my right side, on my injured side, just to kind of warm up and get a good isometric contraction in the quad. And then I moved over to the Spanish squat. And one of the things that you may notice about the Spanish squat, if you've ever done a Spanish squat before, is that I was using 2 bands instead of 1. And that's something that I learned from Nick Kloepping. I'm gonna link the video in the description, because the way that he describes it is I can't explain it any better than that. So typically, from what I've researched, the Spanish squat seems to be like a very popular movement in order to rehab patellar tendonitis. But Nick Kloepping does an excellent explanation as to why using it with 2 bands is better than 1, at least for lifters like us, and using it to help cue proper squat mechanics. So I'm not even going to try to replicate what he says. You guys can just watch that video. But I did a couple of those, and then I kind of superset those with some light leg press work. So I'm in a super good mood because my leg presses were pain-free today. The squatting type movements where I go into extreme degrees of like knee flexion, like a hack or a pendulum, where I can just get like unbelievably deep, those are painful right now, but leg press is not painful. Not only is the Cybex squat press that I filmed, we have another leg press in this gym, just the old 45-degree hammer strength leg press, and that one was pain-free as well. So, and then my leg extensions were pretty pain-free today once I kind of held the isometrics and I kind of got everything going. So I'm scheduled to do a lower body workout tomorrow, which I am in a really good mood. I'm feeling very optimistic about it. I don't really have any doubts right now that I won't be able to do any of like my hamstring stuff, because my last leg day rotation, my hamstring stuff was completely unaffected by this, but my quad work was heavily affected. But to be able to do some pain-free leg extensions and to do some pain-free leg press today is awesome. And what's even better is that I know that I can use both of the leg presses. So right now I have the Cybex squat press programmed on lower B, and I have the pendulum on lower A. The pendulum seems to be very painful right now, but I know that I can do the hammer strength leg press on lower A. So I can, on lower A and B, I can both be doing a leg press, but one will obviously be the Cybex and one will be the hammer. And because one of them is like a pivot style leg press and one of them is more like the traditional 45-degree style leg press, there will be some nuances in terms of the loading curve and all those types of things. So I know that I can at least work around it. You know, I can get back into productive leg training, which is fucking very relieving. You know, I've talked about this with clients before, and I've talked about it with my girlfriend extensively. She's very aware of it, but like when injuries and stuff happen, obviously there's like a physical stress from that. Like, you know, your body is in pain, but really the thing that kind of just makes injuries fucking suck so much is what it does to me mentally, because it affects the way that I can train. And I'm a true fucking meathead. I'm the definition of a meathead. Like, the entire mood of my day is dictated by how my training is going. So when my training is being affected because of an injury or something like that, it is extremely testing mentally. So especially because I am so unexplainably desperate to like grow my legs and fucking get back on stage. And the fact that I can't productively train that area right now is like really fucking with me mentally. So to be able to know that unless, God forbid, I wake up tomorrow morning and I'm like unbelievably sore, I at least know that tomorrow I can go in and I can get some sort of a productive leg workout in, at least in terms of the quad work. Like I said, I don't have any doubts or anything that all of my other work won't be unaffected, because it's been unaffected up until this point. But to be able to get after the quads and stuff is very exciting tomorrow. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's lower body workout. And yeah, now it's time, like I said earlier, to go home and start doing some work. After all of my rehab or recovery work or whatever, I did some posing, and I took which I will screenshot and use those as my progress pictures. Posing practice and progress pictures are kind of like the same thing in my opinion. But I have not looked at those yet, and I probably won't look at those till a little bit later. And maybe that's a good tip for you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are like self-coaching, or even if you're working with a coach and you're sending progress pictures to them on a however frequent basis. But this is especially applicable in prep, because you're typically in prep, you're sending pictures more frequently, maybe multiple times per week, if not every day at some point towards the end. And I have found with myself, like when I take my pictures, if I look at them immediately, I'm never gonna like what I see, to be honest. And I kind of find that if I be a little bit more patient and I don't look at them like emotionally in the moment, and maybe I just, I take the video of my posing practice, and then I just don't look at it, and then I do something else for a little bit, and then I look at it a little bit later. It's typically not as bad. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say, oh, I look fucking great. Like, I don't think anybody ever really takes progress pictures, with the exception of like a handful times in prep maybe, where they're like, damn, I look awesome. Damn, son, where'd you find this? But yeah, I guess that's a tip that maybe some of you guys could take, that I've found kind of makes me hate the way that I look a little bit less. So, all right, just got home, so I gotta get to work. I gotta get some coffee in me, and then I gotta get to work. Really good start to the day today. Very, very happy with how the knee is feeling, and I feel optimistic about legs tomorrow. So we will take you along for legs tomorrow, and I'm hoping that tomorrow's a good day. Guess we'll find out. Take care, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Any questions or anything, leave them in the comments. And as always, take care of yourselves.